Hello, beautiful faces. I can see names. Um, is it Zosia? Hello. It's fine if you want to stay muted, but if you want to unmute yourself, you can. I would love to hear any questions or um, comments. I'm hoping people can share some things from how they're feeling right now, if they've ever fasted, if they've never fasted, what their fears and thoughts around fasting are. And that would be amazing. So we're just coming up to the top of the hour, and I welcome you all. I'm just going to try to keep my eye on people coming in. I know everyone has a busy morning, and I appreciate you taking some time out. And if you can't stay for the whole call, no worries, it'll be recorded. Um, so like I said, you can keep yourself muted if I am not able
Oh,
to
I just
unmute. Okay,
I
I'm.
just unmuted. Hi, it's Sosha. Sorry.
Oh, hi,
Uh,
Zosha.
Yes, it's Sosha. Thanks.
Beautiful. Welcome. Hi everybody. Oh, it's so nice to see everyone's faces. I know some of us are on the go, so we're not some of us are going to stay muted, which is totally fine, but I just wanted to oh yay, we had some I was like worried if I was going to be all alone over here. I keep talking to myself on Instagram and it's lonely out there. Um anyway, it's good to see everybody. Welcome. I know everyone's in different time zones. Some people might be we've got East Coast represented, we've got California, Nevada. Um, so welcome everybody. Um, Everyone, if you don't know how to unmute yourself, if you look in the lower left corner of your phone or your laptop, there is a little microphone. And if you want to pipe in or ask a question, if you put you should be able to see a chat box as well. I'll try to keep my eye on that. Um, and again, if I know some of us can't stay on the whole time, I don't know how long this is going to go for, but I just basically wanted to create invite you all into a space where we can talk about what's going on right now for you. And some of us were on an amazing 3-day water fast with Dr. Mindy and the worldwide community. I know that there was, I think, 1,000 people on the last call that we had on Thursday, which was pretty incredible. If anyone, by show of hands, just does anyone not know Dr. Mindy or okay? Uh, who participated in the water fast today, this week? Okay. Zos, I can't see some people's camera, which is fine.
Yes,
Um,
I did.
oh, you did? Okay. Wonderful. Well, are you, and is anyone, I just wanted to kind of get an idea of anyone's, like, how long have you been doing fasting? Have you, is this new to you? Hello, Lori, welcome. People are going to start coming in, and I'm not going to try to say hello to everybody. I'm just going to try to keep my eye on admitting people in. I thought I checked the box where people can just admit automatically, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, Zosa, so how did you find our community, or how did you get connected to fasting, or Dr. Mindy, or me?
Oh, okay. Okay. I should show myself. I'm pretty shy. I'm shy. Ah,
Me
well, I
too.
have been fasting for over 4 decades with the Master Cleanser, and it's an annual thing I do. So I've been familiar with fasting, and I've just always with that type of fasting, it's led me to be curious about exploring different ways of acquiring healthy habits. So I found Dr. Mindy through a friend last year, and I'm all excited to really here boot
Nice.
myself into it.
That's great. And did you participate in the recent fast this week with her 3-day community fast?
I did. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I'm trying to just show my face and I'm not able to right now. So
Oh,
sorry.
that's okay.
Um,
Maybe next to the microphone, there's a little camera looking.
yeah, yeah, no, I do Zoom.
Okay. Oh,
Anyways, yeah, I participated. It was fantastic. It's my second time doing it, and I'm really thankful that we're all here. You're doing this follow-up because I'm really pumped to continue this lifestyle.
awesome. Awesome. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Would anyone else like to share anything? I know some people might not be able to be on the call too long. If anyone needs to get off early, I would love to hear from you. So feel free
I can share my experience. Hi, Trish.
hi, Gigi.
This is Gigi. I never thought I could do a fast because I have a high metabolism and I'm hungry like every 3 hours and I have to eat a little bit as I go through the day between regular three full meals a day. But I was able to do it for 54 hours. It was just so awesome. And it was difficult. There were times that were really difficult, and I made myself a drink of ginger and lemon and cinnamon herbal tea, and that would sort of get me over that bad moment when I was just so hungry I could die. And it did, and or I'd go out for a walk, just kind of displace your mind, put your mind somewhere else. And that was great. And I have to say, I would have liked to have gone for the whole 72 hours, but I was feeling too weak. But I have to say that the following day after I stopped, I had so much energy. It was just incredible. And of course, I started eating, according to Dr. Mindy, taking the bone broth and then a high probiotic and then a super light uh, meal with steamed vegetables. And I chose fish for the protein. And as I say, the next day was just incredible. I was so clear and I have some joint pain that was gone. Um, I just felt great. So thank you, Trish. I'm inspired to continue this. Uh, I don't think I could manage the 3-day fast once a month, maybe 24 hours once a month. I would definitely love to try that. And I have to say, I feel so much lighter, all of that sort of thickness, that pudgy thickness that we feel, especially after a month of holiday celebrations.
Mhm.
That's gone after 3 days, completely gone. So thank
Beautiful.
you, Chris.
You're welcome, and I appreciate you sharing. One thing I will say before I get to you, Leslie, I see your hand is up. Um, so the 3-day fast is something that might be a tool that you might want to lean into like maybe twice a year. So Dr. Mindy does another one in September. The
Mhm.
24-hour fast, as you mentioned, is a beautiful tool to do once a week or once a month. MIT did a study that once a month, just it was a study for men, but once a month, a 24-hour fast can add up to 8 years to your health span. So healthy years to your vibrant years to the, I mean, who doesn't want to do that? I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm so passionate about teaching this. Of course, fasting is a tool that complements a busy lifestyle. It's flexible. And I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm not ready to do another 24-hour fast today." My goal of this today was to kind of just help maybe we plug one in for the next week and just gain momentum of what we've gained so far. Some of us may have made it, 17 hours, and a lot of us made it 72. And we thought it was such a big mountain to hurdle, but it wasn't as hard as we thought. That's what I'm getting from a lot of you. Um, so thank you for sharing. You can unmute yourself when you share. If you don't mind, just remember to mute yourself after you've shared. And now I'll just ask Leslie to, since she had her hand up, to share what she came to.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Trish. And I just echo the lovely lady who just shared because I had so many similar experiences. And I came to Mindy through you and my work with you that has just really reshaped my life in so many positive ways, Trish. So thank you for that. So the 3-day thing, I honestly, I don't think I could have done it alone. Maybe I could, but it was so powerful to have the Zooms and in light of what Dr. Minnie was going through. Incredible that she showed up and she showed up for us with so much inside view on like a front row seat on her and her soul, with everything she was dealing with and managing and the analogies she made with what she was real time living, right? And what she believes in. And I just I'm so energized. So I made it the whole way. And yesterday, like the lady who just shared, I felt on top of the world. I felt calm. I slept with the sense, most of my life, I remember waking up with nightmares or not sleeping all the way through and so forth. I smile on my face all night long. And so I believed that was true. And last night again, I slept really well. And today again, I feel amazing. And some friends came by. We actually have snow. We're in North Carolina, not in the mountains. We normally don't get snow. We have snow. People came by and they're like, wow, you look great. And it's just because I feel great from all this. And I believe in the science. I have two sisters. I sent them both the book. I have a sister-in-law and her partner. I think the two women would totally be into this. I'm sending them books and links and so forth. But part of why I was interested in the longer term fast is I have, I'm relatively healthy, not good. Healthier today now, right? Because I've got ketones, but I have arthritis and some vitiligo, autoimmune stuff. The arthritis shows up mostly in my hands and my knees, particularly walking up and down the stairs for my knees. Feel great today. Feel great yesterday. 2 days ago, my hands didn't hurt. One day ago, my knees stopped hurting. So I am like 1,000% believer. I feel the other thing is I can be a little sort of ramped up sometimes, and I've felt a calmness after going through the program. So I'm such a believer, and I look forward to continuing with you, Trish, and with Mindy. I want to do the September thing. I think my two sisters are going to join me. I sent them her book. I sent the Fast Like a no, yeah, Fast Like a Girl book, not the others. But I'm grateful for this knowledge. I really believe that our bodies can heal ourselves, and I want to be, like a missionary there with you, Trish, without your knowledge, but with sharing the wisdom and bringing using me to this program, and I'm all in. So thank you.
That's beautiful. I love it when we find we just learn how to work with our bodies, and whether we've tried fasting before or not, when you understand the science of it and how to support your body and not do the same thing all the time, and to mix it up and to do it at the right time of our hormonal profile, we really do unlock such a amazing capacity within ourselves, not just the healing benefits of fasting, but also the ability to work with our bodies and build resilience and strength in other areas of our lives. And we feel, I mean, I don't know for you, but I feel less triggered. I feel more confident that I can face challenges head on. And so if that's resonating with any of you, it's just a brilliant way to empower ourselves to get through and to improve how well we feel, think, and live our lives. So, is there anything someone would like to share about this week or moving forward?
If I can share, I would love to. My name's Jacqueline, so hello to you all. I'm pretty new to fasting. I've done a few 24-hour fasts, which I felt was pretty easy. And as soon as I made the commitment to do the 72-hour fast, I was all in. But I knew it was going to be difficult, and I was okay with if there was any setbacks or if I had to cut the fast early. But going through the process, and I did make it to the 72 hours, but I know without a doubt I would have never been able to make it without the community that we had. I think this community was so empowering. I actually had a local girlfriend here in Las Vegas join in the fast with me. And then, of course, one of my best girlfriends back home in California. So the three of us were on more of a intimate level doing this fast together. And then we had everybody else on the background able to get into Mindy's Reset Collaborative group. I found super amazing, especially people who have been through it before that were able to give advice, and to even see like the transformations, the people like posted pictures. I thought that was super helpful. So the fast itself, I feel, was easy. I feel where I think might be more of a struggle is making sure I don't fall back into that same lifestyle. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have a big support group. I'll just throw it out there. Trish is my cousin. So I feel I do have some family that supports me, but then I have other family that does not support this fast. And one of that being my husband. So I have to just like do me, and I have to let my husband do him. And then of course I have children at home where they're like, oh, my mom's crazy. She doesn't, she's doing this fast. But I have been trying to tune out the noise and just keep moving forward. And it's all based on the whole experience and how well I feel at this moment. So I do feel really, really good after the fast. There's some things that I have noticed, like the mental clarity is like the biggest the biggest, I think, positive outcome for me. But where I do struggle, and I will say, is with my sleep. I didn't notice that my sleep got any better. I actually feel like my sleep might have got a little bit worse. So maybe it's my body still trying to readjust and clean itself out. But I definitely look forward to, the days to come to see how well maybe my sleep gets better. But I'm also struggling, like, obviously, I'm going into menopause. So maybe it's like the cortisol that's starting to actually shift and hopefully decline. But I think the cortisol might be there, and that's what my struggle is. So I think it's just going to get better day and day.
I love
So
it. Thank
I'm
you,
really
Jen.
hopeful.
Yeah. So a few things. I just want to revisit Leslie. Leslie and I have been working together one-on-one for 6 months, and it's been incredible. She came with me or to me with a intermittent fasting experience, but we've unpacked a lot more, and she has really beautifully, I think it was December, I think you did your first 24-hour maybe. And she's like, I don't know if I could do this. And that was after almost 4 months of working together. And then we reconnected, and she's like, I did like 2 or 3 24 hours. So she went longer. I was like, whoa. And so when we have these mental hurdles in our body, and if I can share, Leslie was like working on joint pain and certain things. And, you know, uh, when she said after this 72 hours, she's like, the joint pain in the morning, my knees and my wrists, it's not in my hands, it's not there. It's like incredible. And she's very active, plays tennis a couple times a week. It's been such a joy to work with Leslie. And she's just an incredible human. And she lives on the East Coast. Mwah. um, but I want to create a group of women and men. And I want to touch on what Jackie was saying, like when in our families, when they're like, wait, what are you doing? Like they don't understand the science of it. One of my dearest friends is a doctor. I was on a hike with her yesterday, and and she's like, I'm postmenopausal. She's active. She's a dancer. She's like, I can't fast. Like, I need to support my muscle integrity. I need to eat before I go and dance, like 2 or 3 hours before I dance. And I'm just sitting here in my brain going, oh, yes, you're right. But you also, if you know how to do it right, it's a brilliant tool. And, it could be, she's got a few things that I know that a fasting lifestyle in 30 days would just make the GERD go away, make the acid reflux go away. And I just, it's just, she's not ready yet. She's not hearing it that way yet. Maybe I should have gifted her Dr. Mindy's Menopause Reset book for her birthday, but anyway, that's another story. But I mean, so it's so beautiful to see your faces here, and you're all coming from different worlds and backgrounds and ideas, and the little wherever we come from and how we tell ourselves, like how we feel and what we should feel like at certain times of life. Oh, the husband piece. So my husband is like, he's pretty open and he tries things. This for Christmas, one of the things I gave him was a CGM. He's not pre-diabetic. That's called a continuous glucose monitor. He slapped it on the back of halfway through his fast. Okay, wait, let me back up. So he's like, okay, I'll do this 24-hour fast thing. I've been doing this for a couple of years, and he's like, oh, he's supportive, but he's like, I'm not fasting today. I know you're fasting, but I'm not fasting. I'm like, okay. So he decided to do the 24-hour. And after the first day, he's like, I'm really hungry. I'm like, are you sure you're hungry? Maybe it's just a mental thing. Kind of talked about it. Um, the next day, he wasn't wearing the continuous glucose monitor yet. I put it on at 48 hours. And he's like, I'm not really that hungry. I'm not going to eat yet. At 24 hours, like the night of the 24 hours, he's like, I'm going to eat tomorrow. I'm like, no worries. You've done great. Congratulations. You've done the work. He woke up the next day and he's like, I'm not hungry yet. I'm not going to eat. I'll just tell you, at 48 hours, we put on that continuous glucose monitor. And he's like, oh, he loves numbers. He's like a numbers guy. He loves looking at his blood glucose. I'll tell you that. It's funny. And we woke up the next day on the third day, and he's like, I feel pretty good. He played golf on the second day, golf on the third day, didn't eat. He did have fasted snacks, handful of olives, quarter of an avocado here and there. Actually, the night he put on the CGM, the range dipped below 40, and that's a concern. His ketone, so he had a quarter of an avocado, and his blood glucose went up, and we went to bed. The next day, his blood glucose shot up to like 82, I think it was, which is a healthy range. And he's like, I didn't eat, but his blood glucose was at 40 throughout the night. A couple of times his CGM went off. We had to mute his phone. And Leslie just shared her acid reflux went away with working together. So yay, that's wonderful. Anyway, sorry, I just saw the comment. So anyway, my husband's story, just Jackie, a tip. If, oh, did you leave? I don't know if you had to rush. I know you couldn't stay on too long, but oh, you'll get the recording. So when someone's uh if someone can put on a CGM, it really gives them something, another tool to look at and know that they're and have that little extra faith in their body that they can do this. So when he woke up the next day, his blood sugar was like at 82. And he's like, how did I go to bed at 40? His blood sugar at 3 or 4 in the morning was his monitor went off again because he was at 40, but we ended up muting his phone. He's like, I don't want to eat. I'm just going to sleep through. And he woke up and his blood sugar was 80, and that's called the dawn effect. And this is your something that happens overnight. Your liver cleanses the stored sugar in it. So non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, listen to this, is going to affect up to 50% of Americans. That's 1 in 2 people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease by the 2030. So if that doesn't motivate you enough to lean into a fasted lifestyle, I don't know what will. And non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is no joke. You don't want that. And this is all the metabolic health. This is all the pre-diabetes, the diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and the metabolism stuff, and the obesity, and Alzheimer's. We know that Alzheimer's is now called the type 3 diabetes. That's blood sugar accumulating in the brain. So if you can do something like lean into a fasted lifestyle to help unlock that and reverse those numbers and become more insulin sensitive, like why the heck not? We don't have to rely on chronic conditions to make our bodies feel better. Anyway, I don't want to keep belaboring that, but did that resonate with anybody? Makes sense. Anyway,
So Trish, when his blood sugar went up to 80, what did that mean?
okay, so he woke up in the morning. It meant that his liver overnight dumped a bunch of stored sugar in its liver and dumped it into the bloodstream. And that means that your liver's functioning better. Your body's using that sugar to store and burn it off. You're also your body, the ketones. So you're becoming uh in a fasted state. You're producing ketones in the liver, and your brain thrives on ketones. So you want to what does metabolic fitness mean? It means that you're shifting between sugar burner when you're eating all the time to fat burner mode. So if you're all the diet and the exercise is not going to work if you're not if you've got stubborn belly fat and you've got, back fat or fat in areas that you're like, gee, I'm just what I used to do doesn't work anymore. Like my diet is clean, I'm exercising. Why is this fat not coming off of me? It's because your body is storing toxins and excess in that fat. It's your body's innate intelligence saying the liver's overloaded. It doesn't have the ability to get through what it needs to do. You need to so it's just in survival mode. So the body, instead of storing the fat and the toxins by your vital organs, like your brain and your organs, it puts it in that belly fat and it puts it in the back fat and the arm fat. So that's innate intelligence of the body. So I have a whole new appreciation of belly fat. It's just the clue that my body says, hey, it's time for a liver flush or a gut flush or a fast because you need to really help the liver out to process that stuff, and it's not ready. It's overloaded and your detox pathways are burdened. So until you give your body a break with fasting, it's not going to be able to release that. You're working against your body instead of with it. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It does. So fatty liver disease is when all of that the liver can't process all of that, and that's what that is then. What is
Yes.
fatty liver
So
disease?
let's talk about the hormone hierarchy. So insulin and cortisol, if it's a pyramid, insulin and cortisol at the bottom of this pyramid, and oxytocin is at the top of the pyramid. Your sex hormones are in the middle. If you don't manage your insulin and your cortisol, none of the other hormones at the top are going to be balanced. So the foundation is what matters. And insulin sensitivity is like, okay, when you eat anything that passes your lips, turns into sugar in your body, in your bloodstream. And that's your sugar burner system. And if you're becoming insulin resistant, it's like there's so much sugar in your body that's building up, and your pancreas keeps releasing this insulin to help get the insulin is like takes the sugar and puts it into the cell. But if your cells are gummed up with bad seed oils and inflammation and uh, stuff from our environment that's really creating a lot of noise around the outside of that cell, the insulin can't break that barrier. The receptors are blocked, and it's just floating into your bloodstream, and your body's like, shoot, we've got this insulin resistance problem. The pancreas keeps pumping out more and more insulin. You keep eating food, your blood sugar's going up, you're becoming insulin resistant. So the body's like, okay, well, I'm going to take this fat, this insulin and this sugar, and I'm just going to store it in this belly fat for now until I can figure out why, until a rainy day when I'm just not so overburdened by this our food system that's causing a dysregulation loop, and by the constant stress of cortisol that's causing a dysregulation loop in our metabolism. So when we give, the lowest hanging fruit is to go into at least a 13-hour fast, because your body starts burning that blood sugar that's in the bloodstream first. It goes there. And then when you start to deplete those blood sugar levels, and you'll see it on your CGM or a Keto Mojo if you're measuring your blood sugar, and that if it gets down enough, it'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to tap it. My liver's going to switch into, maybe around 15 hours or start making ketones. And that's called your fat burner system. And this is where your body starts to tap into the belly fat. So that's the brilliant body going, okay, well, I'm going to start using the stores in the belly fat and in my muscles, the stored glucose to release to fuel the body. And then the liver will start overnight. That's why we get that blood sugar spike in the morning, because we need to wake up in the morning and get our day moving. So it dumps some sugar in the morning, and then we can get going. But then maybe around 24 hours, 36 hours, you start that 36-hour reset fast called the fat burner for a reason. That's when your liver starts producing the ketones, because you've gone through those sugar storages in your bloodstream, some of your muscles, some of the fat is starting. But when you get into that ketones, you'll know it because your brain starts switching on, the mental clarity goes through the roof, your energy goes through the roof. You shared with me that you felt that this week. It's then people are like, how, like, that's why the first 24 hours is difficult, because you start feeling a little hangry and maybe a little jittery, but that's because your blood sugar's dipping. You're not quite into ketosis yet. You're not quite into fat burner mode and making those ketones. So you feel that a little bit and you're like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. But then there's also the microbiome that's talking to you. And then your mind is talking to you saying, shoot, I haven't eaten. There's something wrong. We really go to food a lot to have a state changer. That's the other thing. Uh, In the absence of food, you realize how much you just mindlessly eat. You're not actually hungry. You're just picking up something because it's out of habit, or you just want a state changer. Because food releases chemicals in our body and it changes our mood and makes us feel different in our body. But we're not actually hungry. So this 3 meals a day stuff is not necessarily what our bodies need. Once you break through that mentality, knowing that, gosh, my body thrives on ketones. And when I get into that 36-hour mode and my liver starts producing ketones and my mind gets mentally sharp and I'm starting to, feel like my clothes are fitting me better around the waist, because that's where I carry it, cortisol, stress, and, um, yeah, so that's, where was I? Yeah, the ketones. So ketones are great. And when you know how to metabolically switch into that and you become more flexible, it gets easier. Oh, that's what I was saying. That first 24 hours, it's not just the blood sugar that's dropping that might make you think, oh, I need to eat. There's this part of your microbiome. So everyone talks about our microbiome. What is that really? It's your gut has bugs. Well, our skin has a microbiome, our gut has a microbiome, every cell in your human body has a microbiome. And when we talk about the microbiome, most of us are talking about the gut health microbiome, and that starts in the mouth and ends at the other end. So a lot of people are like, well, what kind of probiotics, or what can I do to support my microbiome? The best thing you can do to support your microbiome is to do a 24-hour gut reset fast. Because everybody's microbiome is as unique as your fingerprint. Nobody has the same microbes. And the more diverse, your number one goal is to have a more diverse microbiome. And what does that mean? It means you could break down your food better. It means that you have a better immune system. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. It means that you're less food sensitivities, less gas and bloating, and a better mood. Your happy, feel-good neurotransmitters are part of your gut bugs. And so that serotonin and dopamine, those neurotransmitters, the gut-brain axis, some of us have probably heard of that. If you want to boost your mood, if you want to take control of, get rid of that belly bloat, do a 24-hour gut reset a couple of times a month. I promise you. The idea of taking a probiotic that is a one-size-fits-all approach to fit your unique microbiome is just, once you understand that part of your body, it's silly. Where I will say a probiotic might be beneficial if you've just coming off a course of antibiotics and try to avoid those like a plague. Honestly, the Z-Pack situation is out of control. If you have a cold, it lasts 7 to 10 days. If you go get a Z-Pack, you take it for 7 to 10 days. It doesn't shorten the cold. It actually just, it takes you like years to recover your microbiome population and diversity after taking one single round of antibiotics. And we don't even have to take antibiotics to get antibiotics into our bodies. Every conventional raised meat that you go and eat out or dairy has antibiotics in it. They've been pumped with antibiotics and you're consuming them. Okay, so I'm not saying this to get fear mongering or to shoot, I can never eat out. I've got to worry about what I eat all the time. No, that's not the case. What I'm really, really passionate about, and if there's one thing you take away from our conversation today, is that building up your own resilience to our environment is the number one thing you should do. And how do you do that? You support your microbiome, you hydrate yourself, and you open up your detox pathways. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And that's your key to living better, lowering the inflammation, and lowering the chronic conditions. That's it. Simple. And hydration with minerals. I'm not a fan of 1,000 supplements, but minerals are key. My favorite are bean minerals. And because they're full spectrum and they have humic and fulvic acid in them, they're naturally occurring. And they act like you need the full spectrum cofactors of minerals. Like the idea of just taking magnesium or some of these 99.9% of the minerals on the market are not full spectrum. You need those small trace minerals in there to get all the nutrients into the cell, to get the water into the cell. And then the fulvic and humic acid and bean minerals pulls the toxins out of the cell. And then it also acts like a street sweeper and cleans the blood and pushes the toxins into the lymph. If anyone knows, who hasn't heard about the lymph system? Okay, so you've got blood and you've got lymph. Your blood carries nutrients and waste, well, carries nutrients around the body and oxygen, and your lymph carries the waste. It's your sewer system, carries the waste out of the cells, out of the, in between the cells, out of the tissues, and into your detox drainage pathways. So detox, supporting your lymph is number one. It doesn't have a pump. It relies on movement. So you don't have to go and get a fancy lymph massage. You've got 2 fingers on each hand. This is your lymph massage. These are your termini of your lymph. You always want to open up them first. If you take your ring finger and your middle fingers, you lean forward into that divot of your clavicle, and you gently, that's a beautiful necklace. My friend Sherry right there. I'll just shout out to you, Sherry. It's her jewelry line. Anyway, you just lean forward a little bit and you pump very gently, like you're testing the firmness of an avocado. You don't want to bruise it. You just pump 36 times. 36 is the magic number in Chinese medicine. That's why I use it. 36 times you pump that in the morning before you get out of bed. It's a beautiful little 1-minute routine of self-love. Then you use your fingers and you gently stroke down your neck. Overnight, your liver's dumping toxins and sugar, your brain is cleaning. There's something called the glymphatic system in your brain that's draining the toxins and the sugars and the shit out of your brain. We don't want Alzheimer's and dementia. We want to think clearer. We want to support our bodies. So this simple technique will help drain that fluid. And I kid you not, I promise you, try it. You will feel the drainage happening. It's incredible. A lot of us, myself included, clench our teeth at night. I love to do this. I just go like this under here. I can feel the tension of my muscles. You go behind your ear, peace fingers, behind your ear like this. Your vagus nerve lives here, starts at the base of the brain. It goes all the way down like branches, like roots of a tree into your stomach area, tons of nerves. Your vagus nerve is part of that rest, repair, digest mode of your nervous system. Am I talking too much? Sorry, I'm going to keep going. If I'm talking, please, if I'm just losing you guys, interrupt me.
It's super interesting, Trish. Super interesting. Keep going.
Okay, thank you. So, a 1-minute routine, open up your termini, stroke down your neck, peace fingers behind the ear. Do this a couple of times. Love on yourself. Tell your body, thank you so much for another beautiful day that you get to wake up. Use your fingers like this along the jaw. Release the tension, move your jaw, let it go. Whatever it is, you don't even have to know what it is. Just let the shit go. Breathe. you're stimulating your digestive system already. You're stimulating your lymph system already. You can lean forward with those two fingers and go underneath your armpits. If you don't have a pit or a puff, it's called an armpit, not an arm puff. If this is puffy under here, you have stagnant lymph. If you have puffy under eyes, it's probably stagnant lymph. So just do yourself a favor and just sign up for the 7-day I Love My Lymph challenge and give yourself a little love in the morning. Clavicles, jaw, neck, behind the ears. I love to just, there's foot reflexology. It's also ear reflexology. Massage your ears, pull on your ears a little bit, do the under the armpit, and then I like to just rub up towards this way, rub down. Oh, for those of us who might have sore wrists, going like this is a beautiful way to lymph gets stagnant wherever you have a joint. So you might not have rheumatoid arthritis, or if you do, it doesn't have to be as intense. Who has stiff joints in the morning? Sometimes I do, and that's a sign that you have stagnant lymph. So just go like this in the morning, both wrists, and then it's not hard. You're basically just like rubbing your skin, and then do that with your elbows, and then push it down into the armpits. Stimulate your armpits like this. Get in there. Wherever it's tender, that's probably where you need it. 36 pumps there. And then you move down to, like, I'm going to show you my belly. So here's my belly. So right here underneath your sternum, sometimes if you lean forward and you feel tender there, that's a sign that you just need to give it a little love. We get our diaphragm is basically along there. It gets stuck. We're shallow breathers sometimes. We get our shoulders up. We carry our shoulders up around our ears as earrings. You don't want shoulder earrings. Release the tension out of your neck. After you do the armpit and the arms, push the lymph towards your sternum here. It's your drainage system. So it's so simple. You don't need a fancy brush or a tool. And then go underneath that sternum, lean forward a little bit. Are you tender there? Do it with me right now. Are you tender there? Put your fingers like just underneath your rib cage and kind of give it some love. And then do a little belly massage. And then that groin area where we have our lymph nodes, a little massage there, behind the kneecaps, a little massage there, around the ankle joints, behind the Achilles, a little massage there. So it's really simple. It takes all of 1 minute. Do it with something you're already doing anyway. You're maybe just before you brush your teeth or before you have your shower. Another thing I will tell you, your tongue is a huge indicator of what's going on in your body. One of the things Guy said to me, my husband, on his 3rd day of his fast this week, he's like, why do we scrape our tongue every morning, by the way. We have a copper tongue scraper. I thought I had one over here, but I don't. Anyway, it's just a simple scraper. You can buy them for like a couple of bucks on Amazon. So every morning, look at your tongue, scrape it. Your tongue tells you what's going on in your life and your digestive system, especially. Right now I have a little bit of a white coating on my tongue. That's candida. On the 3rd day, his candida, his gut microbiome that craves sugar, carbs, and alcohol was dying off. And that first 24 hours of a fast can be the hardest. It's not because you're hungry. It's that candida saying, feed me, feed me. If you push through that with a state changer, and someone said to me, what's a state changer? Well, we use food as a state changer. It changes our mood, mind, and body. We use alcohol as a state changer. We can go for a walk. We know that can lift our mood. That's a state changer. Getting out in the sunshine is a state changer. Dancing to your favorite songs is a state changer. Calling a friend, playing with your dog, cuddling your loved ones. It's all a state changer. So before you think you need food, maybe just go and hug your loved ones or go for a walk. If you're, wanting to lift your mood and change how you feel in your skin. So Guy, the coating on your tongue, the white is usually candida leaving your body. And as you move through a longer fast, you'll notice it builds up a little more. And just grab a tongue scraper and you can get it off. It's a good habit to get into anyway. It also stimulates your digestive organs. It's like foot reflexology also in your mouth. If you Googled tongue map, you'll see where certain organs are associated with parts of your tongue. I don't know how I got onto tongue scraping. Hi, Sherry. I think you're muted, honey. Or can you unmute yourself? The lower left corner, there should be a microphone. You can click that.
Can you talk a little bit about inflammation?
Absolutely. So chronic inflammation is a silent thing that even if you're even if you don't feel bloated or you're slim looking from the outside, we all can have various degrees of inflammation. One of my favorite ways to find out if we're inflamed. Oh, well, first let me know about inflammation and what does that mean to you and can you put that into context for me around
Well,
what?
I just feel like there's so much discussion right now about autoimmune diseases and it being gut related. And, Stanford a few years back came out with that study saying that over 65% of all autoimmune are gut related, right? And then it's built, I think that was like the first one that was built upon that. It may be, but, there's so much talk about the inner flora, of the gut and inflammation throughout your body. And as we know, or an acidic environment in your body, which, is kind of like a breeding ground for cancer, etc.
Yes. Okay, great. Thanks. Wonderful question. Um, so inflammation and acidity, I'll address acidity first. The so many people have acid reflux and that kind of issue. Your stomach should be acidic. It's hydrochloric acid. If you put your hand in your stomach, your hand would be metabolized. And that's what you want. You don't want to because it has to break down your food. The idea, I mean, I have a friend struggling with acid reflux and she's just not hearing any of it, but she's like, I can't eat tomatoes because they're acidic. I can't eat lemons, it's acidic. I'm like, if you only knew how acidic your stomach should be, you would never take an antacid again in your life. The protein pump inhibitors that neutralize your stomach acid is doing the worst thing for you. So 24-hour gut reset is your friend. pH in the body. Your digestive system from your mouth to the other end requires a different pH along the way. Drinking alkaline water is also not a beneficial thing. Hydrogen water, on the other hand, is very beneficial. I will say the role of I'm going to talk about the gallbladder, so and bile. The role of bile, as soon as you put fat, anything fatty in your mouth or food, really, you need it signals something for your body to produce bile, for your liver to release some bile, and bile helps regulate the pH of the internal digestive system. It also helps you digest fat in foods and absorb. You need fat to absorb things, water soluble vitamins, fat soluble vitamins, and anyway. So pH, if you want to regulate and your blood pH is different from your stomach pH, and drinking alkaline water actually messes up a lot. When we talk about pH, you really want to be concerned about your blood pH. And the best way to do that is eat an alkaline-rich diet. Well, that's fruits and vegetables. So don't be afraid of your tomatoes and lemons and whatnot if you are dealing with acid reflux. Pre and probiotics, you want to get them from your foods and fruits and vegetables. The 3 Ps, probiotics, prebiotics, and polyphenols. Good news, rich dark chocolate, 80+% and more organic. I love raw cacao and it's bitter. As a sweetener, I'll add a date. I made some this morning. That's what I had. It doesn't break a fasted state until you put sugar in it. So that was cool to enjoy that through my fast this week. Let's address the inflammation part. Chronic inflammation happens. We all have some form of leaky gut and gut dysbiosis, and all that means is that we have an microbiome imbalance, and that causes chronic inflammation. So the best way there's a test called, I'm not a huge fan of tests, but I do love the GlycanAge test because that gives you insight into, it's a simple test that's shipped to your door. You do a finger prick and then you mail it in and you get a doctor to review the results. And it gives you early detection of chronic inflammation and diseases that are associated with inflammation. And so I will put a link. If you want to email me, I'll share with you. They have a special on the test right now. It's deeply discounted. And I think it's a very valuable test. It also gives you your biological age, which means not related to your birth age. It's related to how fast your cells are healing I'm sorry, aging, how fast your cells are aging. So like say you're 50 years old, you could either be 57 in cell age, or you can be 45 or in cell age. When I walk, there's some simple things that you could do, like for instance, the 2 liter 2 liter a day water challenge with Analima water. Their independent study and drinking hydrogen-rich water has reduced your inflammation. It's called the inflammage, your biological age by 8 to 12 freaking years in 3 months by drinking 2 liters of water a day of this Analima water and hydrogen-rich water. Analima water is this one, it's so easy to do. It's like a $120 thing that lasts you a lifetime, and you wand your water. I do it, and you can taste the difference. Your water has a different viscosity. It doesn't taste different in flavor, but I've done blind taste testings with people. Every single time people can notice the difference, the mouthfeel of the water. And I mean, 2 liters of water a day is nothing. It's not hard to do. And if you want to reduce the rate at which your cells are aging and your organs are aging, maybe we should do that as a community. Wouldn't that be a fun challenge? We could do that test together and do a 2 liter water a day challenge for 3 months, test our biological age, and then come back and test it and get some lifestyle tips from the GlycanAge experts, and really just improve our resilience and how well we're showing up for ourselves every day. So anyway, if you're interested in that, that could be fun. So yeah, inflammation is a thing, and things that in our environment, I mean, is not to be feared, but everything, glyphosate and pesticides, if you eat out, you're consuming them. If you breathe the air that we have, glyphosate is in the air, it's in our rainwater. Glyphosate is the pesticide that's sprayed on our crops here in the US. So it's unavoidable, but that's why I love this lifestyle, because we can build resilience to our environment. And that's what it's all about. It's not something to be feared, but it's something to have confidence in, because we have a lot more control than we're led to believe in how we feel and how we can move through life's challenges. So if there's another pandemic coming our way, with this lifestyle, we can really build resilience and not have to be fearful of the next walking by and someone sneezes, you know. Does that make sense? Or are there any, that was a
Yeah.
really good question. Thank you, Sherry.
No, for sure, for sure. I mean, I've tried to do fast, but I've never really done it. I've never put my mind to it, and I'm super excited to do it. And hearing everyone talk about it's interesting.
Yeah. And we all drink water, so why not drink Analima water or hydrogen rich water? Because hydrogen, if you go to hydrogenstudies.com, there's over 2,000 studies that share science peer-reviewed studies that share what you can do to the benefits of hydrogen-rich water. So just so H2O is hydrogen, right? Or water is hydrogen, but hydrogen-enriched water is increasing that parts per million of hydrogen. I have an under-the-counter sink hydrogen generator. I have a travel water bottle that I take with me. Um, it's just a simple tool that we can do it supports the gut microbiome. And the reason why we're not really what we eat, we're what we absorb. And the microbiome is our #1 defense against the external world. It builds immune response. 70% of our immune system lives in our gut. It's part of that microbiome is our immune system. So the more diverse our microbiome is, the more resilient we are. That's just the bottom line. And the more happy hormones we have, and the more balanced sex hormones we have, and the more resilient we are to stress, common everyday stressors. So the low-hanging fruit, we all drink water. Um, you know, let's make it hydrogen water, and let's make it anti-inflammatory water instead of the dead water so here's some myth busts. Everyone's like, oh, I'm so hydrated. I peed clear. I ran to the toilet 5,000 times today. No, that's not hydration. Hydration is your pee is slightly clear. Your pee should be straw colored, because that means it's gone into the cells and it's taken the toxins out of your cells and it's pushed it through your detox drainage pathways, and you're peeing out those toxins. So no, clear pee is not hydration. So let's just do a simple hydration challenge. It doesn't even have to be these long fasts. We can just do 13 hours to 15 hours a day in a fasted state and drink 2 liters of water that is enriched with bean minerals and analima water. and we can reverse chronic inflammation in our body. And we can think better, and we can see it in our skin, and we can feel it in our energy, and we can sleep better. One of the things Jackie mentioned, she wasn't sleeping so well, and she's already struggling with that with perimenopause. Well, you sleep less when you're in a fasted state. In those longer fasts, your body needs less sleep because you're repairing 24/7. You're not just repairing when you're sleeping. 17-hour fast is called the autophagy fast, and autophagy is just a fancy word for your body going internal and cleaning up cells that aren't serving you, cleaning up cells that are limping along, that are kind of the mitochondria are kind of not, everyone talks about mitochondria. What is this? Well, it's ATP, which is also a scientific term for basically the gas in the tank of your cells. So we are solar light powered energy. We need water, we need sun. So another low-hanging fruit, first thing in the morning, no matter what time you wake up, get outside without sunscreen on, without sunglasses on, and just look at the horizon, go for a walk with your dog, with your lover, with your best friend. For a walk with yourself and get to know yourself a little bit in the peace and quiet of the morning. Natural sunlight, that low level light. People spend a lot of money going to those infrared, infrared and also red light beds. It's free. It's the sunrise and it's the sunset, and it's twice a day. That's your opportunity. If you're struggling with sleep, a good night's sleep starts in the morning. All you need is 10 minutes of sun exposure into your eyes. You have more mitochondria in your eyeball and your irises than any other cell in your body. That mitochondria is natural energy. And I don't know if I've got allergies with this air or if I'm getting a little bit of a cold, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to mask it with a antihistamine or I'm just going to lean into a fast. I'm driving to Vegas later today. I'm going to fast. So I broke my fast this morning already because I had a date in my maca and my cacao, but I'm going to lean into a 24-hour fast till tomorrow. And if I wake up,
It might be the smoke in the air, Trish.
I think it's a combination. I think you're right. And I can feel it. It's driving me bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's in my throat. So
Can you I love this idea of the water thing, and you were talking about the B mineral water so you've talked about three things with the water, right? The hydrogen, the B mineral, and the anti-inflammatory. So I think it would be, I don't know about the rest of the community, but I think it would be really interesting to do a Zoom on that, and maybe develop like you said, like a water challenge, or I don't know. I think that'd be fun because I have an alkaline water filter that I've been using, and you say that's not good. So I'd like to hear what would be good to replace that with.
absolutely. Okay. I'm up for the challenge. I would love that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely. So let's how about this time next Saturday or this time next Saturday is that we can I can post some resources in the meantime.
Mhm.
Can everyone just email me and I'll put together a group email if you're interested in doing this, and I can send you the resources where to get your B minerals. And if you're interested in getting the Analima wand and the hydrogen water, you can either get hydrogen tablets, which are relatively inexpensive. You just drop it in there. It makes it look like like Alka-Seltzer. It bubbles up. You want to drink it straight away. Hydrogen gas is very light. It escapes. So as soon as you make it, you want to drink it. When I make it out of my tap, I have an under the counter filtration system that makes hydrogen water. It does not look like that. And I just drink it straight away because the gas evaporates. So yes, absolutely. Let's do it. So I can share resources where you can get these tools, and we can all come together in a call next Saturday, and we can record these things. So if not everyone can make the call, it could just be a resource where we're all available. And actually, yeah, that's what we'll do. Does that make sense?
That's great.
Okay.
I
Wonderful.
have to go.
Okay, thank you, Gigi. I really appreciate your presence and your great
I'd love to
questions.
support you on all this. It's so interesting, and the way you deliver the information is really clear and very helpful. So thank you, Trish. Have a great day.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so does anyone else have a question or a comment or want to share anything or want clarity on something or we're dealing with something that I can help with maybe? Yeah,
Trish, I have a question on the reflux. You said to do the 24-hour
yeah.
fast, but how many times a month would you do that?
Oh, okay. Um, you can lean into a 24-hour fast once a week if you want. If that sounds overwhelming, don't do it. Once a month would be beneficial. Twice a month would be better, and once a week would be fantastic. So monitor your body and how you're responding. Uh, try it this week, and then if it felt good for you, try it, add it next week. There's something called the 5-1-1 rule. There's 7 days, 5-1-1 adds up to 7. So 5 days a week, you can do a 13 to 15-hour fast. The key about fasting is you don't want to do the same fast every day. It's like you don't want to do the same workout every day because your body will plateau and it's not good for your hormones. If you and you don't want to mess up your hormone cycle. The 5-1-1 rule is great for post women who don't have a period anymore. They still have hormones to worry about, but they don't have a period per se. The 5-1 rule means 13 to 15-hour days, 13 to 15-hour fast 5 days of that week. And it's flexible. You plug it into your lifestyle around your social and family commitments. Um, 1 day a week, you don't even worry about fasting at all. You just do you. And then the 1 day a week, you do your 24-hour fast.
Okay.
Okay. So look at your schedule, and that's the beauty of it. It's all about plugging it in to we all have busy lives, so wherever it fits in. And then I will say, just for women that are fasting, cycling with a period, just that 10 days before your period starts, you don't want to lean into a fast. And then also, Sherry, just a note about inflammation. It comes from our diet. It comes in the form of like over-the-counter meds, NSAIDs cause just things that disrupt our microbiome. The bad seed oils, eating out. One product I do like is Ion Gut Health. It just seals up those leaky the gaps in our gut health. And I will say we've only got a few minutes left, so I'm wrapping this up. I don't want to keep talking. Does anyone else have anything else to say actually before we have to jump off? Okay, so I'll just say there's something called Ion, ION. It's The Intelligence of Nature by Zach Bush. I'm also certified in his protocol of intrinsic health, which is all about activating our body's innate intelligence to heal and thrive. And so it's a liquid that you take. I carry it in my purse. So when I eat out, I just do a little shot of it in my mouth. I swish it around about a teaspoon or a tablespoon, just swallow it. And within 15 minutes, it heals. It seals up those gaps in your gut. So some of us may have heard of leaky gut, which 70 to 80% of us have some degree of leaky gut, and gut dysbiosis, which just means gut health imbalance. And the ion really helps put a barrier between you and the pesticides that we're getting in our food supply. So if you're eating out and you're having bad seed oils, which, can't avoid them all the time, it's just a nice little tool to support the integrity of our GI system, of that tube, basically from the hose that's our mouth to the other end, and just support that barrier between the outside world and our inside world. Does that make sense? So inflammation happens when you've got gaps in that barrier. It's only one cell layer thick, and that's what leaky gut is when chronic inflammation happens, because undigested food particles and things that shouldn't be getting across that barrier into your bloodstream is causing chronic inflammation. And that's what lowers autoimmune conditions happen because our immune system comes through and it's like all this stuff is flying through that it doesn't identify with. And it's like, oh my God, there's so much inflammation. Like I'm overwhelmed. And then that's when we get sick because it misses the pathogens and the germs get through because it's overwhelmed and it's inflamed. So I love Zen Cleanse too. It's a system that I'm actually starting this today. The Zen Cleanse lung cleanse. Guy and I kickstarted the 3-day water fast last Sunday with the gut cleanse and the liver cleanse. It's just a 1-day thing. You'd be shocked at how much stuff you can release in 1 day. I love these because I don't even like calling them detox kits because it's not a push-pull. It's a nourishment from the inside out. It's revolutionizing supplementation and how it's made from whole foods. It's fermented, so it's 100% bioavailable. And This is just their little glass vials of fruits, vegetables, and seaweeds that have been fermented for 3 years, nourishing the body. And I'm going to take this to support my lungs. Right now, we've got too much in the air that we're breathing. And it's a nice thing to do like once a year. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm so excited to be that you guys are leaning into this with curiosity and an open heart and open mind, because we have so much more power over how well we feel and think and age than we're led to believe. We need to take our power back, and that's what it's all about. And it's so simple. So let's do the water fast challenge. I mean, the hydration challenge with the hydrogen water and the analima water and the Beam minerals. So I think that's a really good place to start to lower that inflammation, and doing a little self-lymph massage to get those toxins and detox pathways open. Is there anything else that anyone would like to share or before we wrap it up? It's really nice that you all showed up today. I love seeing your face, Dina, because I don't get to see you very often anymore. And Sherry, I know you're getting ready to go to Europe to go find some jewels. And that's exciting. So maybe a 24-hour water fast before you get on the plane would be a really good way to boost your immune system. I love, I call airports desert food deserts, because the food is not the greatest. And I think flying is a great opportunity to do a fast. So,
Okay, I should do that. Whatever I need to get to do that, I should do that, because I always need to be entertained, which no one needs to know that. But um if I'm on a plane, I'm not looking for somewhere, you know what I mean? That's so true. So I'm gonna, whatever I need to do, let me know.
okay, great. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll do like well, actually, if you go to my Instagram, Trish_Mangold,
Hmm.
I believe there's links in there for the Beam minerals. And if there isn't, I'll make sure there is. But if you just email me, let's keep it simple. Trishmangold@gmail. Just email me and I'll send you guys the links to get your stuff. And then you have your tools to move forward and we can get started. And if anyone's interested in that GlycanAge test, I think the 2-for-1 test, I think it's normally $348. They're having some sort of discount. And you can get 2 tests for $533, I believe. And if 2 people want to share and get the savings, just, grab your partner, grab a friend. Or a cool thing to do would just get 2 tests, and you can test yourself now, and then in 6 months' time, after you've changed your lifestyle a little bit, and then it'd be really cool to compare your biological age in 6 months and see how and celebrate, the changes that you've made and lowering the inflammation and moving away. The cool thing about the GlycanAge test is that it tells you like if you're headed towards certain metabolic diseases, and you get a doctor to review your test. It's not just a test that gives you a bunch of numbers that mean nothing. It literally, you get a doctor to go over your review, over your results, and give you lifestyle tips. So it's a very valuable tool, and it's very empowering. So just throwing it out there. Of course, you don't need to do that. You can just just unlock your body's innate intelligence, and you could see how well you're improving your aging markers and how well you feel and think just by using your own intuition. So anyway, you guys are beautiful. Thank you for showing up today. And I hope there's like 1 or 2 things that are just keep in the back of your mind, and just know that you're amazing, and we can just support our body's innate ability to thrive in a world no matter what gets thrown at us. And that's what it's all about. Love you all. And I look forward to reconnecting next Saturday. And we can follow up, and please share this recording. I'm going to figure out how to get this recording out to you guys. And the more we can just share these things with our friends and loved ones, the more, like I said, Guy was like, I'm not a faster. And he did 65 hours this week. He's like, I'm only going to do 24 hours. And every day he's like, I'm okay. I feel good. And then he left me the sweetest freaking voicemail. And I didn't listen to it until like like a day later. I missed it. Anyway, but he's like, this fasting thing wasn't so bad. I could do that. We were driving out to Vegas this weekend and planning on it. And he was like, maybe when we go out to Vegas, I'll just lean into that 24 hours again. And I'm like, I have a new fasting buddy. Yay. It's so fun. And I think putting that CGM on him, that continuous glucose monitor, has been fun too. Because then he went to lunch with a friend later this week, and he had a hamburger. I'm like, no, the standard American diet. I'm not a big proponent of any particular diet, but I do. The standard American diet is the freaking worst. It's killing us. And he had a hamburger and fries. And I'm just like, okay. And he came home and he goes, I'm not eating hamburgers. And I'm like, why? He goes, my stomach feels horrible. And my blood sugar spiked and it's terrible. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad that's a learning lesson. That's great. So anyway, nothing against hamburgers. If you make them at home, you've got control over what kind of meat you're eating. But, the buns at the restaurants, they're just full of processed carbs. And, here's a list of things to avoid: bad seed oils, processed carbs, and processed refined sugars. If you don't change anything else in your diet and you just do like 13 to 15 hours a day fasting, you will change your health trajectory. You will lower your A1C. And A1C is your average blood glucose over the last 3 months. The GlycanAge test, by the way, can find out if you're headed towards diabetes well before your A1C will ever show up. So that's another benefit of that test. And a lot of other markers that don't show up, like you find out if you're headed towards metabolic diseases well before traditional blood tests with the GlycanAge test. That's the other reason why I really love it too. And who doesn't love to know what their biological age is? I mean, that's a pretty motivating factor to track that. And you know, if anyone's half competitive. And if anyone's had cancer in their family or personally had their own experience with cancer, a simple 13-hour fast a day reduces the rate of breast cancer reoccurrence. Something like, I'm going to get this, don't quote me on the number, but it's significant. It's something like 67%. So, I mean, why the heck not? So, I love you all. I'm going to keep going if no one cuts me off. Anyway, I'll cut myself off. It's enough. I think, right? This is fun. Anyway, have a beautiful day. If you want to unmute yourself and say bye-bye or share a word of inspiration, feel free. But I'm going to try to figure out how to get this recording. I'm very new to all this social media stuff and tech stuff, and try to figure out. It's going to be a big file, so I don't know how to share it with you guys, but I'll figure it out. I know it can be done. All right.
Hi, Trish. Thanks so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you,
Bye.
Trish.
Yeah,
Hi, Trish. Thank you so much. It's Virginia. I have a 3-year-old with me while I've been muted the whole
Oh,
time. We're
beautiful.
actually on the sand, getting our sunshine. We're playing on the beach on Balboa Island. So we're
Perfect.
getting all of our grounding and our sunshine. And
Yay.
thank you so much, but I managed to listen to all of it. There's only one thing I wanted to ask you is, because I am going to do my water fast today. I didn't really hear, maybe I was distracted, of what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to eat some olives? Not? Am I just drinking water? I didn't really hear what I was doing on the water fast.
Okay.
Because
Well, there's no wrong way to do it, but I will suggest if you can just do water with, you said you had Celtic salt, um,
yeah,
like a wedge of lemon or lime and some Celtic salt, sip on that throughout the day. Have some herbal teas. Try to avoid caffeine. And if you can avoid a fasted snack, even better. At 17 hours, it's something called autophagy. That's where your body's cleaning up cells that aren't serving you, maybe some viruses, some bacteria, some precancerous cells. The more you can do it without a fasted snack, the more autophagy, you'll turn up that dial on autophagy. When you have a fasted snack, it doesn't break a fast necessarily. You have to keep it under 200 calories, and you really don't know what pulls you out of a fast unless you're monitoring your blood sugar. And it's different for everybody. And the more diverse your microbiome is, the more resilient you are to getting away with a little, with a
keep
snack,
drinking the water.
boost your won't break your sugar. Anyway, my point is, if you could do without a snack, great, because you're going to get more autophagy. But if you need to lean into something just to get to that 24-hour mark, a handful of olives is fine. It's a healthy fat, and it won't break your fast. It shouldn't break your fast, but again, you wouldn't know until you're wearing a continuous glucose monitor. Anything that spikes
Okay.
sugar by more than 10 points after you're eating it has taken you out of a fast. So you want to keep a snack under, like, 5 olives or 10 olives might be about 30 calories. And it's a healthy fat that can, but you probably just need a state changer. You don't need food. So lean into maybe an herbal tea that,
Yeah, I'm going to try and do it with nothing. And
yeah,
then when I break it, do like bone broth or something.
that would be a beautiful way because bone broth is so healing for the gut lining. So you're continue to gain the benefits. So the fasting benefits don't just stop the minute you start eating. You want to feel, if you want to gain more muscle, if you want to support your immune system or support your gut health, and I know gut health is one of your things that's on your list, bone broth would be a brilliant way to break your fast. So have a cup of
Okay.
bone broth or two, sip, maybe do a 24-hour bone broth fast. But I know you have some social commitments tomorrow. So maybe sip on bone broth tomorrow after you break your fast before you go out with your friends, and
Okay.
get some fermented foods in, and yeah, and know that you've done something brilliant for yourself. And then lean in. You're flying again this week, so when you get on the plane, why don't you the day before try to move your dinner an hour earlier, and then or as early as you can, and then try to get that another 24-hour fast in on your travel day.
Would make a river. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Trish.
You're so welcome, Virginia.
Thank
Thanks.
you for everything. That was all very enlightening.
Yay. Well, you got this. And so that's all I'm here for is just to share information. And you guys did all the credit and all the work because you're doing the work. So that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. That was amazing. And I will talk to you maybe when you're driving to Vegas. This little 3-year-old is, can you hear her?
Yeah, what a
Hannah!
just a little
Hannah!
angel.
Yeah. Say hi, Trish. Yeah. All right, darling. I'll talk to you when you're on your way to Vegas. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Enjoy. Okay.
Okay.
Get sunshine. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Lori or Danica or Sherry, anything else before we wrap it up? Okay. Well, thank you all so much. Again, I'll figure out how to share this recording, and I'm excited to do a water challenge with you guys. I think that's a great way to move forward with our next steps. And make it a beautiful weekend and share a 24-hour fast tips with anybody you know because it can help everyone. If they're not pregnant, they could do it. Love you all. Mwah.
Thanks, Trish.
Welcome.